Welcome to another episode of the 15 Minute a Day Cure. Today's topic, we will be talking about how to relieve stress in the evening. Hi, I'm Margot Staten of BeGoodToYourselfByMargot.com, and here I teach you simple strategies to improve your quality of life. If you're new here, wonderful to have you, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Let's jump into today's lesson, 9 strategies to manage your stress, specifically in the evening. So stress is very normal. Stress is very, very common. We are constantly bombarded with stress at work, stress in life, stress with our partners, our kids. There's an overwhelming amount of stressors. And oftentimes stresses actually can be a good thing. Sometimes when we're stressed, we respond better. Sometimes we're more productive. Even when we talk about stress and how it sort of contributes to anxiety, a certain level of anxiety is healthy as well. But we're talking more about the toxic stress that you bring home in the evening, the stress that, makes you frustrated, the stress that makes you angry, the stress that makes you yell at somebody for no apparent reason, oftentimes at our kids. We're talking about the kind of stress that prevents you from being able to sleep at night, that is very, very distracting, and it's a huge burden that just sits on your chest and oftentimes, can even prevent you from being able to breathe. So 9 strategies to sort of alleviate a lot of the stress. Number 1, listen to music. So music can be very, very soothing. You can listen to music on your car ride home. You can listen to music at home. You can listen to music essentially anywhere. Me personally, I have music playing all of the time. I don't know what I would do without my Alexa. So music is very calming. And when we talk about stress, I don't mean, put on heavy metal. I mean, you might love heavy metal and that's fantastic. If heavy metal relaxes you and de-stresses you, that's great. But typically put on some happy music, put on some soothing music. I'm a big fan of Christmas music. I listen to it 365 days a year. I love jazz, a slew of various artists. But again, you sort of need to find something that takes you from feeling to kind of a little bit more woosah, a little bit more zen. Number 2, read a book. A lot of times our stressors kind of replay themselves in our head, and it's very, very challenging to make them stop. And we'll talk a little bit more about sort of positive thinking and redirecting your thoughts. But reading a book is a nice way to sort of disconnect yourself from some of the stressors. It allows you the ability to focus on the text or focus on the story. And it does relieve a lot of the stress. Now, I understand we're all super, super swamped. So sometimes it's like, how do you want me to find time in the day to read a book? Again, you don't have to read a book for an entire hour. If you can even find 15 minutes or half an hour after the kids have gone to bed, or, maybe after you took a shower before you go to sleep. But reading a book is a fantastic way to sort of escape and alleviate some of the stressors. Number 3, stop negative self-talk. Again, we can have a certain level of stress and anxiety, but we actually make it worse by constantly reliving it in our heads. And we do this all the time, right? We have something that is a major source of our stress on repeat. And again, sometimes the stress is not directly at us. Sometimes the stress is, maybe somebody in your family got ill, or maybe there's something, going on at work, or maybe you forgot to send a particular email, or you're not sure if you're going to meet a specific deadline. The point is, typically when we're stressed about something, we replay it over and over and over again, and it actually increases our stress levels and increases our anxiety. So you want to make sure that you consciously make an effort to stop the negative self-talk. You can stop by negative self-talk by reading affirmations. You can stop the negative self-talk by, counting backwards from 5 to 1. You can stop the negative self-talk by, just consciously, sometimes in my head I get a thought and it's really, really bad, and I'm just like, okay, F off. Again, whatever works for you, but you sort of need to redirect the negative self-talk that's actually making your stressors worse. You need to either stop it or you need to flip it on the other side and think of something positive. Again, affirmations are a fantastic way to do that. If you can't sort of bring up positive thoughts in your head on your own, you can have either a journal or, again, go on Pinterest. There's tons of affirmations. You can write out your favorite ones. And anytime you feel yourself sort of getting into that negative headspace, read a couple of your favorite affirmations. And again, it will instantly start to alleviate some of your stress levels. It doesn't make them go away, right? Until the problem is actually solved, the stressors will be there. But in that moment, it'll help, especially in the evening before you go to bed, it'll help alleviate some of the stress. Number 4, vent. We need to get it out there, right? Whatever it is we're stressed about, and usually it's not one thing, it's like 5 or 6 different things, we need to get it out. You can't keep it on the inside, right? Because it has absolutely nowhere to go. So typically a lot of people who kind of swallow their stressors, it manifests itself in other ways. It can manifest itself in mental health. It can manifest itself in physical illnesses. Again, your stress, if you're not consciously dealing with it, if you're not consciously working through it, it doesn't just magically disappear. Stress builds upon stress, builds upon stress, builds upon stress, right? So again, you want to make sure that you're taking, 15 minutes in the evening or however long you can sort of dedicate to this to do something in order to alleviate some of the stress and anxiety that you're feeling. And venting is a beautiful thing, right? Call a friend, talk to a partner, talk to, parents, maybe even write it down, right? Maybe you're stressed about something and you don't really want anybody to know about it. Pull out a journal, a piece of paper, your phone, and just write it down. Again, it's very, very cathartic when you actually verbalize or write down your stressors to sort of get it out of your system. Number 5, and I sort of talk about this a lot, is exercise. And I know that every time I bring up exercise, people are like, oh, I don't want to exercise, or I don't have time to exercise. Again, you don't have to exercise an hour every single day. If you had a very, very stressful day, or you've had many stressful days, again, moving, dancing, exercising, doing any type of cardio will help you. Even if you're doing it for 10 minutes a day, even if you're doing it for 15 minutes a day, it'll help alleviate a lot of the stress. It's also a very good distraction, right? When you're, again, I do Zumba. I do enjoy certain aspects of yoga. But I prefer to kind of just dance around and be silly. And that's really my form of exercise. It distracts you from the stress that's going on in your life, right? So at least for 10 to 15 minutes, you're going to be able to redirect your thought process onto something else. And it's also very, very healthy for you, right? All right, number 6, and this is kind of my personal favorite. I love nature. My home is actually surrounded by plants. I don't know, something about having plants in the house naturally soothes me. When I walk into my home, and I have a whole video about how to make your home a sanctuary, I'm going to leave a link down below. But your home space should be soothing. So plants are fantastic means of de-stressing. Again, it works for me. It works for a lot of the people that I know. It works for a lot of the clients that I work with. If you're not really a plant person, or if you've had a plant and you've killed it, then, maybe this is not the tip for you. But if you are somebody that likes to surround themselves with nature, having plants in a home and sort of surrounding yourself with greenery also helps to alleviate your stress. Number 7, do something creative. Oftentimes we have jobs that we don't particularly like. We do it because we need a paycheck. And it's very, very challenging to sort of be stressed at work or have a job that you hate or, dislike people that you work with. You need to do something creative for you, right? We all need some type of outlet. I can't really dictate what kind. At the end of the day, if you enjoy art, draw. If you have children, it's a fantastic activity to do with them. If maybe you enjoy taking a bike ride, maybe you enjoy building model cars. Again, do something creative. Maybe you enjoy writing, even if it's not published writing. Maybe you just want to write for yourself or have a book of, your favorite stories or poems, or maybe you enjoy photography. You should do something creative. There should be some kind of hobby or something that you do that balances out the stressors of everyday life. Number 8, a warm bath or shower in the evening before bedtime, again, to sort of cathartically take a shower or a warm bath to kind of wash off the stressors of the day also helps decrease your stress levels. And then finally, number 9, you can do, forms of meditation, you can do Tai Chi, you can do yoga. Again, a lot of these things allow you the ability to center your body, to center your mind, to relax. Also, meditation, Tai Chi, and yoga are very, very big into breathing. So especially if you're prone to anxiety, kind of taking in very, very controlled and deep breaths, again, assists in alleviating stress, especially in the evening. And again, why I talk about relieving stress in the evening, we should all have techniques throughout the day that alleviate stress. That could be, taking a breather for 60 seconds. You can breathe deeply in and breathe out. If something happened at work, you can go, walk around the block, or maybe, phone a friend and vent, whatever it may be. But evenings typically, we come home and we sort of bring the stressors of the day with us. And that's why a lot of times this prevents us from sort of relaxing at home, which is what we're supposed to be doing before the next work day. For a lot of people, it prevents them from having healthy sleeping habits. Maybe you're not able to fall asleep because you're constantly replaying your stress, or maybe you wake up multiple times a night. So again, alleviating stress levels in the evening is very, very important, because at the end of the day, the next morning, you have to wake up and do it all over again. And if you do nothing and you're already stressed, again, your stress will build stress, right? And having a lot of stress is very toxic. So really there's 2 strategies, there's prevention of stress, and there's also treatment of stress. But I can tell you that if you, right now when you're kind of listening to my video, if you're thinking to yourself, okay, what do I do for stress? And by the way, leave a comment down below. Let me know how you manage your stress. But if you have absolutely no stress management techniques, it's extremely unhealthy, and it's impacting you physically, and it's also impacting you mentally. So whether you want to try one of the 9 strategies that I mentioned, again, they're not very, very time consuming. They're simple to incorporate into your daily routine, but you need to find something that alleviates your stress, that is very quick, and that you can do on a daily basis. All right. So those are the 9 strategies to manage your stress. I hope you enjoyed my video. Thank you so much for watching. Hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And always remember to be good to yourselves.